You're preoccupied with the question about your special someone, your desired partner, or even about whether, if you meet someone new, will the contact be stable? Will it be about stability, about things developing continuously, becoming more intense, stronger, more solid? Or if you're just getting to know this person, will they break off contact again, or will it just be a lot of back and forth? Or if you get back in touch, will things maybe go back to how they used to be? He reaches out, then he doesn't reach out again. This back and forth, and that's what we're going to look at now. We're living in the moment, we're tapping into the energy of the now, the most present energy that wants to reveal itself. And you know, this is a collective reading and the person cards are gender neutral. This is your counterpart, whether male or female. Please always adapt it for yourselves. And a collective reading can't resonate with everyone, nor can it be one-to-one. But you always take from it what I find wonderful, what fits your situation, your puzzle piece, as I always like to call it. So let's take a look now, and first of all, a very warm and loving hello to all of you. A big loving hug to you on this day and every day. And thank you for your presence, and thank you for everything you give me every day in the comments with your loving energy. I truly appreciate it so much, and I thank you for it. So let's see what shows up, what wants to reveal itself. Very important, always believe in yourselves. Trust yourselves because you know you have the steering wheel in your hands. You are always the captain of your ship of life, and always keep your focus on yourself. You are the most important person in your life, and that is always very important. So let's take a look now. All right, we already have the major arcana. Great, fantastic. Your special someone, your special someone definitely still seems to have some kind of influence. We'll see in a moment what kind of influence that is. But this lack of strength and this doubt where he might still be right now, that's now moving into a powerful phase. Something is changing here. A lot of energy is being shown here, positive energy, a powerful phase. I think that's fantastic. And above all, for some people, courage is also showing up. This is about courage, influence, and courage, right? But he will find his strength here. And above all, it seems like there is currently something going on with him that has to do with his zest for life. But something is struggling here. So something just doesn't feel right for him here. So something is simmering a bit beneath the surface here. Let's take a closer look at that. Now, we have the swords, and with the 10 of swords, I find it fantastic in response to this question. There will be, we have influence now, and here it is shown again, there will be a definitive ending. Decisive. I think that's fantastic. The decisive final stroke. And there will be a break, so a chapter will come to an end. A chapter. So something is truly changing here. It could also happen very suddenly. And in any case, it will move back into repetition, into recovery. And there is this, so from the repetition, whatever kept happening, if you have already been in a relationship, the whole thing now moves into recovery and satisfaction. Because that's the thing, your loved one is not satisfied at all. Not at all. Something is seriously wrong there. For some, it could be that they are currently stuck in a crisis. So, and now we have another major arcana. Wow, okay, great. The Empress, growth. So really a fantastic start to the reading. Yes, a dependency, influence dependency. So there is something here, something that keeps holding him back, where he also lacks the strength. So something keeps pulling him back again and again. But the thing is, we are moving into growth here, especially when it comes to the relationship with you. The relationship, the connection, we're talking about contact here, and the whole thing is moving towards growth. Something is blossoming again here as well. So what does anything mean? Definitely the relationship. We are experiencing growth, this blocked situation. Let's take a look at what's really going on and how everything is developing here. Above all, what I also find beautiful is that a love is blossoming here, or blossoming again. As I said, whether you've already had contact before or you're just getting to know someone. So let's take another look once again at what else we can add here. Let's take another look as well. Yes, all right, okay. With the snake, it shows, yes, if you really interpret the snake this way, the environment is having an influence here. They are going through a renewal here, so to speak, like shedding their skin. There are definitely entanglements at play here. It could be another woman, you know, a rival, but it could also be their environment, situations, or other people. And if you look at it that way, it's actually really toxic for him, that or his environment, his or her environment. So he also has a bit of complications, you know, a bit of a delay, detours. Detours are shown here, this weaving one's way through things, you know. But there is a movement here. Maybe he has been weaving his way through one thing or another all this time. Yes, we'll definitely take a look at what else comes up here regarding the child. What else do we have? Yes, he really does have a heavy cross to bear, you know. In the truest sense of the word, if you look at the whole situation in general, it really is quite a burden that he carries because he's been dragging something around with him the whole time. A burden, the weight, and your loved one definitely has a task to work on, to complete. These are lessons to be learned, tests. And it's also the case that, maybe he has always stayed true to his principles, you know, the principles that are also those of other people. But let's take a closer look at what is showing up here. In any case, there is a really heavy burden here, but we have growth, we have transformation, we are in the midst of change. So there really is something huge happening here, you know? So even if you aren't hearing anything from him right now, there is really a lot going on here. All right, actually, we can take 2 more cards for the ending there. Now we have those as well. And now let's see what exactly we get here. Just take a look at this. We're already in the midst of transformation once again, and this definitely has to do with you. So you are definitely the main character for him or her. And this is definitely about you because he hasn't forgotten you. So definitely not. I feel such a strong connection between the two of you. And we clearly have both transformation and a new beginning here. Yes, so he really has strong entanglements. He tends to withdraw. If you get back in touch, I see contact. I see contact coming with a new beginning, with transformation. The change, especially his thoughts about you, you know, he just can't let it go. And everything that happened in the past, all those moments and events that occurred before, really worries him, making him anxious that maybe, just maybe, he didn't actually take the chance with you when he had the opportunity. He kept disappearing again and again, you know. It was always this thing, especially keeping things secret, not being public, you know, always making it a secret, maybe even with you. The contact, when you had contact, you know, it was always like a question mark, sometimes like a closed book. Yes, but the thing is, he doesn't actually have any trust in himself and just always ran straight away from all of it. The contact between the two of you, yes, that will definitely happen again or start anew. So, as I said, if you meet someone new, I see the contact and I see the connection, but I see it differently for you. Different, it's like this. Nothing is the way it used to be. And I think that's fantastic here. Because the slow progress in your contact, yes, it might happen now and then that his responses are delayed or that he's a bit reserved in what he writes. But here it says, don't worry about it. That's exactly where the complete transformation is happening for him, an absolute upheaval. These are his or her own issues that need to be worked through. There is nothing that can't be resolved. It's simply his insecurity because it's a change, and also for you, the influence from outside, from others that's being shown who have made decisions for him, whether it's another person, a partner, or even family, friends. So what this is about is that those who have repeatedly interfered in your relationship, there are still one or two things that come along with that. Also, as I said, this applies if you are getting to know someone new. It might be that there's a little bit of baggage for a short while, but only briefly. I see the intervals are very short, and they're getting shorter and shorter. Because your loved one wants to bring everything into stability. As I said, nothing is the way it used to be, because he or she knows that they love you. He wants to make you happy. He wants a complete new beginning, or a beginning with you. And I have heartfelt messages. You will also notice that he or she writes differently, maybe even speaks differently. Not always, not yet consistently, but you will feel it. Which then also makes you a little bit suspicious. Oh, wait a minute, I don't know him like this at all, right? Or can I trust all of this? Or am I just being deceived again? Especially for yourself, so you can see, is this right now? Am I misunderstanding something here, or am I just stuck in an illusion? No, you're not according to this collective reading. Because I absolutely understand why you're suspicious. That brings us back to what I said to you right at the beginning. Please always trust yourself. Trust yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Don't focus too much on the other person. What matters is you. You are very important, the most important of all. Of course, you're afraid of being pushed away again, or generally of being pushed away by someone new you're getting to know. You might also be protecting yourself to some extent, so that you don't get disappointed by retreating into your shell. But your special someone truly wants stability with you. And I see this stability in your communication, in the connection between the two of you. Especially what I find fantastic in this reading is that the love, the strong love, the attraction is moving towards stability. And that is the change, because I see your special someone more coming toward me, coming toward you in this softening, being able to let go for once. Joy of life, that's exactly what has always been blocked here. Or what is also relevant now, the joy of life. He doesn't feel good about the situation he's in. But you don't feel good either. Maybe you've been pushed away, or you currently don't have anyone, and you don't know yet. Will I ever meet someone again? So if you don't have anyone, you will definitely meet someone. And I also see stability in communication. As I said, it could also be that if you haven't known this person before, these are simply his own issues, which you will definitely find out about. Yes, because the secret will also be revealed to you, and also by the person close to your heart with whom you will have contact again. The secret will be revealed about what is really going on here, and you will notice the change. He will open up more, and the messages will be loving. You will also feel it when you receive a message and suddenly think, wow, how much warmth is in there. This softness, this gentleness from the person close to your heart. That's exactly what they've always kept hidden or never really shown. He is actually quite fragile. And right now I also sense him as being very emotional, but he's moving out of that uncertainty. As I said, this struggle that's been going on all this time, the external influence, this poison that's been coming from outside all along, that's a burden, a strain for him. But he really will wriggle out of that, because the decision is for love, for the connection, for stability, for his own happiness, and above all, for happiness with you, for you. He or she wants to make you happy. I also see more and more invitations coming up here. I also see goodwill, helpfulness, where you think, wow, what kind of change is this? But you're cautious about the change, because you always have this little thought in the back of your mind, something's coming, right? Yeah, but my will is completely stable. Above all, I see it very clearly also in his jealousy. The contact with you now also triggers in him the feeling that he doesn't want to lose you again. He wants this stability, even if he doesn't let it show to you, even if he doesn't show you that he's jealous, because he knows how wonderful you are. He is coming to this realization even more intensely than before. And the person you will get to know, he is like that too. This, oh God, you don't have another man. So it could also be that there's a little bit of exaggerated jealousy, but kind of in a roundabout way. Maybe he asks you questions or something like that, so it's not so obvious that he's jealous. So a bit, yeah. Or sometimes he hints at things, says something between the lines, or even through a whole flower bed, so to speak. Yeah, so that it's not exactly not shown so openly. Hey, I'm totally jealous. But you will notice it because here, some secrets or things he has always kept to himself, things he hasn't told you, will definitely come to light, little by little. And so from that perspective, the contact between the two of you will be stable, even if, as I said at the beginning, you know, those little things, like if he only replies a few hours later or something like that, then you might think, oh God, here we go again, or yeah, I've already been written off, right? No, that's not the case. Because you'll also notice that he actually explains to you why he couldn't reply, right? It might be that this isn't always the case yet. But you'll notice that it happens more and more often that he tells you why he couldn't text you. Of course, you might also think, is that really true? You're a bit on alert then. Yeah, okay, I totally understand you. But he'll keep explaining more and more because he wants you to believe him. And no, he's not lying to you. That's the change. And it could also be that because he doesn't want to lie to you anymore or at all, he might take a little longer to reply since he's still struggling a bit. There's a bit of a barrier for him to be completely honest with you. And here we see the change again, and all of this still makes him a bit insecure because he always built his own little house of cards here, a bit of, well, let's call it sneaking by dishonestly. But in any case, things really do look very good. And I can clearly see the contact between you two. And I see stability in your communication, the connection between both of you. And above all, I see feelings of happiness for both of you and happiness in love. I see loyalty in your connection and steady growth. Stability is also indicated. And he is already thinking about you. He wants this change, right? So now we have the major arcana again. Wow, okay, but fantastic. We have the world. Lightness, fantastic, right? The lightness that was missing before, or that was missing in the connection between the two of you, that he is currently lacking, is now coming in completely, especially between the two of you in your interaction. At the beginning, maybe there will be a little bit of a, yes, a bit of tension is still showing up, yes, but it moves into lightness. And above all, the journey begins toward unity, unity in your interaction, in the connection between the two of you. And your beloved knows that he has found the right relationship with you. He has arrived. And from this delay, from this scatteredness perhaps, from the isolation, from the stagnation, he is completely moving out because he wants to arrive. That is your wish as well, to finally arrive and not always feel like you can't grasp anything or that you're always stuck in this waiting room. Yes, and then we also have the Page of Cups. So it's also wonderful with the Page of Cups because a lot of emotion is shown here, love. And there is a loving approach, a curiosity, this sense of something new for both you and your beloved. Nothing is the way it used to be anymore. And for some of you, you can really expect a declaration of love here. Reconciliation, definitely. Above all, the emotional closeness between the two of you. And once again, you are moving out of uncertainty. Well, there are still a few little doubts, that pop up from time to time, but overall, everything is more loving. And here, once again, your loved one's emotions are being shown. The emotions that he may have kept hidden all this time, didn't want to show, and so on. But in any case, it looks very good. So what do we have? Please take a look at this. So we have the child, okay? So a new beginning, growth once again. So as much confirmation as we have here in these readings. And yes, small steps. The new beginning is developing, the transformation, the change. We have it here, we have it here. So wow, amazing. And it's like this. The beginning, it starts anew, it moves into growth, but also more into lightness, so that it's also a little bit more playful. It's no longer so tense. And that tension is completely leaving as well. And the sun, so with the sun, the warmth between the two of you really shows itself again. That's the greatest card of happiness. So great happiness. We have so much happiness here in this reading. So this change, the negativity is being removed, right? Or it is it softens, right? So, and there, the optimism is definitely being embraced and something beautiful is happening. There is a lot of wonderful energy here, and he or she will really come into their power, and your charisma, your attraction will be shown again, and he will feel it more and more. Again, joy of life. And he will really become more confident there too, right? All the uncertainty where he kept wavering in everything, that is moving towards stability and fully into self-confidence. Above all, he is also becoming aware of a lot here. And dear ones, I wish you a wonderfully beautiful day now. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I wish you all the very best.